Hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We're your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here at the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use a vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our overall take on each contestant. We'll give you our feedback on their voice and their overall performance. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we'll always keep the 100 with our feedback and critique of each contestant's vocal and overall performance. But what we're not here to do is ever come for anyone's character or any contestant as a human being. Well, we may come off a little pitchy at times, if you know what I mean. We'll always do our best to speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect. And with that, let's jump right in to night 4 of the Blinds, which Stephanie was, to our surprise, a 2-hour episode, which I did not expect.
Me neither. Just a little behind the curtains of the Pitchy Podcast. We do a lot of our editing and things on Tuesday evening to prepare for Wednesday's episode to be released. So when they said 2 hours, I was like, ooh, it's going to be a tight squeeze. But let me tell you, this episode did not disappoint. I enjoyed every second of it, and I can't wait for more.
This week, if we could quickly summarize this week was one of the strongest blind weeks Stephanie and I have experienced with The Voice.
Absolutely.
Pound, some heavy hitters came down the pike.
Yes.
Let's jump right in, Stephanie.
Let's go.
First, which I believe was our leak, correct?
Yes. It was Laura Williams. She's 20 years old from Quakertown, Pennsylvania, and she sang Fingers Crossed by Lauren Spencer Smith.
Crazy. I agree with Niall, because Niall was like, look, this is the first time you've performed on any type of anything. I'm going to check.
Right.
Because let me tell you, when it comes to personality, Laura's got it in the bag, meaning she, in my opinion, gave us the most personality, not only in her performance, but it's also imperative that you all singers, if you come on a singing competition, you have to have America fall in love with you.
Yes.
And before I even talk about Laura's singing, America has instantly fallen in love with her because you know what? If she doesn't make it as a singer, she can make it as a comedian. She was quick. She was witty. She was personable. And that's not even that she could sing her face off.
Come on.
I was like, girlfriend. And she just turned like a week ago, week before they taped. She was a teenager, right? She had just turned 20 years old the week before. Yeah. And she's like, you know what? I graduated from high school. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to defer college. I'm going to try the singing thing. But she's from a small town in Pennsylvania, and this is her first shot, right? And what a shot it is.
What a shot.
About you all taking your opportunities when they're given to you. And I think Laura rose to the absolute challenge. I said, wow, I loved her voice, Stephanie, on this song, because I said she definitely has a Billie Eilish type sound, but it's not.
Right.
Billie Eilish type sound, but I said I love that her lows gave me Cher. Her lows gave me Cher, right?
Yeah.
And very unique tone. And Laura, if I have one critique for you, and it's a very small one, just watch the stylized diction, because sometimes your words can get lost a little bit, but I know this was stylized in how you present yourself as a singer, and you are all original. I say you're a star. I said you are a star, young lady, and I can't wait to see what you do on this show. You are going to go so far on personality alone, but you have the nerve to match crazy, amazing voice with a crazy, amazing personality. Stephanie?
This is another instance where the B-roll, which is where the contestants share a little bit about their story, enhanced the whole experience of Laura. She shared that she had been bullied in school. So her parents ended up taking her out of school and I believe homeschooling for a while, if not the duration of her high school experience. And this performance felt like she was singing her pain. It felt like she was just singing. It felt like her therapy and her healing was happening.
Like a deliverance from her pain almost, right?
Yes. It felt like it was happening on that stage and that she was owning herself in that moment, being like, this is me. Y'all might have had your fingers crossed when y'all were telling me this and that, but guess what?
Right.
I'm here. I'm doing my thing. And her mother almost brought me to tears because as soon as whoever hit their first button, she almost collapsed.
She fell in the arms of her dad. Like,
yeah,
it was amazing.
Yes. And as a mom, like I can imagine if my child was struggling with something and to see my child conquer and to be able to witness that, I could totally feel her mom in that moment. I agree with you about the articulation choices that she made, although I kind of liked some of them.
Oh, sure. It was very stylistic, right?
It was. There was some soul in her throat. Okay? Miss Laura has some soul up in that throat. She sang with power. She sang with authority. And here's the thing that was so interesting because at the end of her lines, there was a little bit of tapering off. Mm-hmm. However, there was such power behind how she was singing that it was like, okay, she's got lungs of steel already to be able to power through those lyrics the way that she was. And I think the voice experience is going to give her some lessons in her pacing of her performance so she doesn't use up all of her breath in the wrong spaces, or I guess that's how you would say it. But I think it's just going to enhance her overall performance and teach her how to
of her breath control.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think it's just going to teach her how to pace a little bit. But I was blown away. I was really touched by her performance.
Stephanie, you bring up a really good point about Laura, and it made me think of something. You can tell Laura is truly in her element now. Because whatever is going on at home, whatever went on in high school with the bullying, that when somebody is in a psychologically, I'm not going to get a therapy session here, but when somebody's in a psychologically safe environment, I just felt like there was a blossoming of her.
Yes.
Like everything, the interactions between the judges, like Laura, like she felt safe. She's like,
yes.
I can truly be me. And her is witty, funny, like personable, all those things, and it's going to take her to the moon.
Yes, absolutely.
She picked. I can't. For some reason I remember who some picked, but I can't remember who she necessarily picked.
She went with Coach Niall.
Oh, great choice!
Yeah.
Great choice. Niall does really well, especially with younger singers.
Yes.
That is Niall's very good with song choice as well.
So, yes.
That's going to be a huge pairing. Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge pickup for Niall. Great job.
Yes.
All right, great. Who do we have next?
Next up was Miss Monet. She is 50 years of age from Pittsburgh, California, and she sang Higher Love by Steve Winwood.
And which is basically, if you all know this song, the original, Chaka Khan.
Yes.
Sang the hook.
Yes.
For this song.
Yes.
And they had a tumultuous affair, but I'm not going to get into that. Chaka Khan's, she did an interview not too long ago this year that was scandalous about her and Steve Winwood in this song. And
this song has had a resurfacing as well.
Whitney's.
Yes.
Remember undiscovered.
Yes.
Unreleased version of it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said Miss Monet. I said the thing I loved about Miss Monet is Miss Monet had a presence about her before she even opened her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes people just look like they're going to sing.
Oh, yeah.
You can see their B story. They look like they're going to sing or not going to sing, that they can sing.
Yes.
And she carried herself with such a presence. And that to me comes with, I think, a little maturity, a little age.
Mm-hmm.
We come to find out that Miss Monet is a seasoned
Yes.
professional singer.
Yes.
If
All
you
the
saw,
seasonings.
if you saw all seasonings, right? Marinated seasoning. If you saw her resume of who she sang, who hasn't she sung with?
And that's the thing. It's like who hasn't she sung with? It was funny because John was like, "Well, did you sing for me?" And she was like, "Almost."
Almost every genre, every type of artist. She
Yeah.
even sang, was like, "Hey Gwen, I sang on your album."
She sang her Christmas song.
So
Yeah.
so she is like, we had a contestant a few years ago, Wendy Moulton, who had a hit a moderate hit in the '90s, early '90s, who she kind of reminded me of an
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
contestant than what is usually on The Voice, but when you get this, you get seasoned professional,
Right.
and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "John and Niall did not turn around." I put, "Are you
Yeah.
kidding me, John and Niall?"
Yeah.
But then Niall actually came out and said, and we know that there's editing and stuff that we don't see, but Niall said, "You know what? Honestly, I didn't turn around because I didn't think there was anything I could do for you."
Right.
Because I was like,
Right.
"You are your ride, Miss Monet."
Yeah.
And again, you can tell that she's a pro. She's in the industry. She's seasoned just right. I have zero critiques for her voice. Miss
Yeah.
Monet threw everything at you and
Right.
it with such ease. And it was like almost like drinking water or chewing gum. She did it with such ease. I'm going to really love hearing Miss Monet in different genres, because she has a voice, being that she did background BGVs, as we call them, every artist under the sun. She's got a chameleon voice.
Right.
So I feel like she's going to take this opportunity, because you can tell she's a very smart singer, that she is going to produce her own sound with every genre that she sings in. And that's going to be key.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for, to see what her individual sound is. And I think that will come through as she moves along further and further in the competition, because with a voice like that, she better move on further and further in the competition.
Right.
Because she was technically perfect.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say about her vocal. What I think that I'm going to be looking for is her individuality, and a little bit more of her personality, and a little bit more fun. And, even for the proest of pros, I can't imagine what this stage is like. So you want to get your foot in the door. You want to do your best vocally, because that is what they're listening for at the beginning. They're listening for that vocal. And now that she's made it, I can't wait to watch her shine.
Absolutely. So I remember who Miss Monet was. Who did Miss Monet went with? I love it. I love it.
She went with Miss Reba.
That's right. That's right. Seasoned with season, right?
Yes.
Seasoning, right? Yes. Reba is the most seasoned entertainer on that stage as far as coaches go.
Yes.
Like, you know what? I thought that was an awesome, wise, strategic, all the right choices. Reba's going to bring that out, because Reba's Miss Personality.
Yes.
Really help Miss Monet stand out, and not. I don't think Miss Monet is going to have a problem with finding her voice. I just think Reba's going to help her find the personality in her voice.
Oh yes,
yeah,
I love that. I love that.
Look up for Reba.
Yes.
Okay, who do we have next?
Next up was Jason Arcilla, 34 years old, from Hawaii. I am not going to butcher the name of the city.
I'm still shaking my head.
But from the island, the great island of Hawaii, singing "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac. Wow.
I wrote wow 4 times in my notes, Stephanie. This was one of those, we didn't see who it was, because The Voice likes to keep some contestants in the shadows and hide their identity.
Yes.
Intentionally.
Yes.
And this was one, Mr. Jason was one. Because when he started singing, and Jason, if you watch, I say this, and I know you probably get this all the time, Jason, because of your voice. You thought, I heard, before they even revealed who he was and somebody turned around, I think it was Gwen who turned around first.
Yes.
I heard like 5 rock female icon voices in his throat.
In his throat.
5 different singers. I heard a yodel. I heard some Kim Carnes. I heard Alanis. I heard Stevie. I heard Hart. I heard Pat Benatar. I heard, like, the list goes on. Like, I heard it all. Like, does he have like 5 different sets of vocal cords? Like, it was crazy, and it all sounded like a female voice. But then there was a split second when I went back and listened to my big ears where he took it down low for like a split second. And you're like, wait a minute. And he did it with a scary sense of effortlessness. It was effortless. There was no break in this man's voice, right? No break. No break in this dude's voice. I love his story. This guy was a teenage dad. He took responsibility. You rarely hear the stories about boys who become dads,
right?
And who then became a single dad and raised his daughter on his own.
Come on,
who is now grown up because he's in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
So again, like, I don't even know. You can't even classify this man's voice. You don't even know what he's going to do going forward because he can do anything with that voice. You don't even know song choice. Like, if I were a coach, I'd be like, dude, I don't even know what to choose for you. What do you like to sing? I'd ask him, what do you like to sing? Because what you like to sing, I want to hear. Jason was magnificent. Magnificent.
Stunning. Like, my first note was yes. Because it was just like, I loved, there was straight emotion and feeling right away. Like, I was just in a vibe from jump, and it was incredible. Not only was there ease between his chest voice and his falsetto,
there was no chest falsetto. It was just one voice.
It was one voice. But I loved his full voice. Yes. Like, it was delicious. That's the note that I put. It was delicious. That's just what it was. Now, it's funny that you say, I wonder who he would sing. Because upon listening today, I was like, ooh, because not too many can take on this person, Bruno Mars. I want to hear him sing some Bruno Mars. I think he would murder because of his range and his vocal capability would be able to handle
another, I tell you.
Yeah, it would be able to handle some Bruno Mars. We have not heard the likes of a male singer like this since Omar. No. And I just feel like he has such wide range, and there are just so many things that he could do and do well on this show. So I'm really, really interested to see what his song choices are going to be moving on. I'm really interested to see who he's going to be paired with in the battles. I just need to hear more Jason. That's all.
What also makes him so special is that there was a delicateness to singing. It was so delicate. It was so...
That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Easy on the ears. I was transfixed.
I felt like I was on the island. Like, I felt like I was in a hammock, and he was just singing to me as the breeze was blowing and the waves were crashing. Like, he took me there. He did.
Delicate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Who did Jason choose?
He chose Coach Gwen.
Gwen is stacking, y'all. Stacking.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I also loved? And I don't know if you peeped this, Stephanie. Gwen kept a poker face.
Mm-hmm.
First turn.
She freaked out. She freaked out for a moment because it was she freaked out for a moment because it's surprising. But after that, she kept a poker face because
Right.
had she reacted, everybody else would have wanted to turn
Right.
more quickly. Yeah.
And was this the one? Was he a one chair turn?
Oh, I don't remember that.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Where she got up and strutted across the stage because she got.
If it was, it's because she blocked Reba. I can't remember if this.
Yes, Reba. Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
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 I'm with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, huge pickup.
Huge.
Okay. Who we got next?
Next up, we have Kaylee Shimizu from Iwa Beach, Hawaii. Another contestant from Hawaii, and she sang "Golden Slumbers" by the Beatles.
Okay, Kaylee, a couple of things. And you said this. You were like, "Well, I'm Filipino and we do karaoke." If any of y'all follow the country of the Philippines and the lovely Filipino people who come from the Philippines, Filipino people will sing you off any stage. Don't ever get it twisted. Some of the greatest singers in the world come from the Philippines.
Toleration.
Scary. And they come out of the womb singing like this. I've seen 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 4-year-olds who are Filipino who can sing circles around a lot of adults.
That's right.
Just in their blood. It's crazy. Like, and I'm going to tell on myself a bit. I didn't hear it first, as Stephanie sits here, because I called Stephanie last night to give you all a little behind the scenes. I called Stephanie last night. I said, I don't know, Stephanie. I mean, she's real cute. I just feel like the voice is a little disconnected, a little disjointed. It's really good voice. It has a lot of potential. Stephanie said, James, put it in your good ears. And just to remind you all, if you're watching the podcast for the first time, your good ears are put it in a good set of earbuds, right? To really hear the intricacies of, or, some people hide things. Some people sound better, when you're not in their earbuds. But Kaylee, sis, I said, it was just insane. I felt like she is a young Monica. I heard a Monica sound. I hear R&B, I hear soul, I hear pop, I hear anything that she wants to sing. Mm-hmm. At first, I was like, okay, she has a little bit more of a mature sound, but I had to remind myself, again, the Filipinos out with this mature sound. Mm-hmm. And I said, and at first I was a little concerned about her vibrato, like being slowed down a little bit. But no, it was perfect. I put you in my good ears, and I told Stephanie this morning, I took it all back. I said, nah, Kaylee's a front runner. Don't sleep on her. And a little cute young lady and young and teenager still. I said, oh, people need to watch out.
Yeah.
Lady.
Absolutely.
Sing you off the stage.
When I listened to it the first time, I was just like, wait. And I was not listening with my good ears. But I was like, wait, am I hearing what I think I'm hearing? Put it in my good ears, and I was like, I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing. And the reaction, if you watch the episode or if you watch a clip of her performance, which will be in the show notes, you have to watch these coaches' reactions because they were like, what in the world are we witnessing and hearing right now? And that is exactly what I heard in my good ears.
She can himself, John Legend, who's usually very, very even keel, right? He's very even. He was losing his mind.
He was losing his mind, as he should have been, because Gwen put it really nicely that she is young and free. She sang with such freedom. And then Reba had a really cool note, which kind of encapsulated her performance. Reba said, at your age, I did not have the creativity to think of the musical choices that you were able to make in this song. She was like, I was not even there at that age. What she reminded me of at the top of the song, I was like, what is this Mariah Carey trickery that I'm hearing? Like, it sounded like all of the cool things that we've heard Mariah do, and it sounded like it could be like a clip of Mariah at a younger age.
There were
Like
some
when
crazy things that she did, Stephanie, that got lost in the cheering.
yes,
Like,
I was like,
no. I was like, go,
yeah,
just do.
right. Yeah, it sounded like a 17-year-old Mariah Carey clip from back in the day that we just got privy to. The back end, I was like, oh, this is Jennifer Hudson. She's putting some J HUD at the end of this song.
Crazy.
Like, there was a word. Like the depth of her chest voice was almost shocking a little bit for her being as little and 17 and young as she was. I was like, there is some power and some depth behind her voice, and just the confidence in her performance. What's coming next? What is coming next? What will be interesting to see, though, James, because of her creativity that she has, I would be interested to see what she does with a partner in the battles and see if they can match her up with someone just as creative as she is. And it's gonna be amazing.
These young singers this season are next level.
They are
level.
Yeah.
Like,
it's shocking.
It's crazy. It's one thing to be a talented young singer,
right?
But these young singers are like they've arrived.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so who did she wind up picking?
She picked Coach John.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. Yes.
John is going to John's going to give her and help her with some great song choices. And John saw what she could do, like that, like her mind, how melodically her mind works, and that's why John is a wonderful choice for her, because he'll give these little suggestions. He's like, how about take the run this way versus this way, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Yes.
All right, great. So who is next?
Next up is Bias. He is 23 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he sang our favorite country jam on The Voice, God's Country by the Blake Shelton.
Come on, worship master. I'm gonna call you a pastor, Bias. First of all, I love your name. I love your genuineness. I said, I love his Southern hospitality because he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I love him.
Yeah.
He said, yes, Miss Reba. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I said, and before I go in, I said, I just love everything about this dude.
Yeah.
At the end of his song, you all, like after he got the turns, like he yelled, like he screamed, like he was so excited.
Yes.
And I love that he's a worship leader at his church.
Yes.
He already knows what it's like to and he already knows the impact of what music does to people.
That's right.
I said, I wrote in my notes, I said, don't ever sleep on a worship leader, you all. Don't ever sleep on a worship leader. They are going to bring it, especially Southern worship leaders, because they're going to play in the South when it comes to their Jesus, okay? I just loved what he did. The first line of the song, like Niall said, there was a couple of pitch things because the level of difficulty, like Niall and Gwen talked about, of this song, and now Blake says this is one of the hardest songs for even him to sing, is very difficult. But I felt like once Bias got past the first line, which was a little low in his range, and he got up into his more upper register, not his top, but his upper register of his chest, I felt like it was just like full steam ahead. And you can't stop this dude. Did I hear some runs, Stephanie? Did I hear Bias throw some runs in there?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to get our country R&B song that we want to hear?
Bias, please. Bias, please. We have been begging for the past 2 years to hear a country artist sing D'Angelo, How Does It Feel, Untitled. And I think you can bring it for us, bruh. I really think that you can. And I'm going to need for you to do that for the Pitchy podcast. You would make our entire life. if you were to do some country D'Angelo.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
Please. James, give him a little sample. Give him a sample of what we want to hear.
How does it feel?
Yes.
Girl, you know it. Have it your way. And if not, you can decide. Come on. And if you had me, hey, that's what we need to hear. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. That's what we need to hear. How does it feel?
Like, no lie, it would bless us so much, because it's just like you talked about in the last episode, James. It's the joy of music, and hearing diverse voices, singing diverse things blesses us so much. We think Bias would murder that song. Any of y'all country artists that want to take that on, come on and take it on. We want to hear it.
Yes, please. But you got to be of age. You can't be singing that song. You just can't. You can't be under 18 singing that song.
Good, James. That's good. Yes. Good disclaimer. Absolutely.
Please.
Good disclaimer, please.
Please. Okay. All right, Stephanie, tell us about that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how Bias took a calculated risk and it paid off.
They did.
Because this song is difficult. And it's difficult because it starts so low and it goes up so high. Yeah. But this is why Bias is brilliant. Bias said, I'm going to sing a half a verse. I'm going to sing only half of this verse, and then I'm going to go straight to where my voice is going to soar. And that's exactly what he did. He sang half of the first verse. Yes, he went straight to the chorus, sang the bridge, and sang a chorus again. He said, look, I only got 1:30 anyway. Let me just give them a little piece of this verse, and then I'm really going to soar and show off my voice in that chorus part, which he did. It was so good. I love his personality. And his mother, I believe, said in the B-roll that, he can sing everything. I heard it in this song. I heard the soul. I heard the R&B. I heard the country, of course. I heard it. I heard the different genres in his voice, which is why we are begging you to do some country D'Angelo.
You heard it all, Miss Stephanie.
I heard it all. His performance, and just like you were saying, he is a worship pastor. So you, as a worship leader or worship pastor, you have to know how to connect with your congregation or emote. So that was like already built in, like that was already there. So, I just like him so much.
What did Daddy say about he and his twin brother?
He said you can be a ballerina or you could be a football player. Don't matter. But what you gonna do is you gonna pick up this bass and you gonna pick up these drums. You gonna do some music. I said, I know that's right.
I want to be his daddy.
I said, I know that's right. Yes.
A couple more things I'd like to add. I love the brightness. He had a brightness to his voice.
Yes.
Like it was like a brightness sound.
Yes.
And then I said, and that attributed to his wonderful diction. I felt his diction was very crisp. I understood every word that he was singing on that song, and I loved it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So who did Bias pick?
He picked Mrs. Shelton.
Yes,
he went with Gwen. Yes.
Yes, he did. Smart. Oh, Gwen. Stacking like John Legend and Kelly Clarkson. I tell you.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Great. Who do we have next?
Next up was Rachele Nguyen. She is 17 years old from Cypress, California, and she sang Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis.
Now, it's interesting. I thought, I got to be honest with you all. I'd be a little pitchy. And Rachel, this has nothing to do with you. I'm not a big fan of this song. I told Stephanie last night, I was like, because I just didn't think that this song ever gave enough personality. And I think it's a song that could be sung in a further on down round of the voice, but I never thought that this song is a good way to show your voice off. But I thought she sang it really well. There were a couple pitch issues here and there. I said, but she was pretty good. I said, I got to remember, she's very young.
Yeah.
And I thought the voice got a little stuck in places, but and I'm going to tell on myself. I'm going to tell. I'm going to give a little foreshadowing. I think Reba. I put this in my notes. Reba is going to bring out the voice and the personality out, because
Yes.
I think that she can be a dark horse,
Yeah.
if she's under the right coach. And I know I just
Yeah.
told who the coach was, but I
It's
think
okay.
that's imperative to her being successful in this competition. Stephanie, what
Yeah.
say you?
I thought she had some real power and some really like and raw talent. I thought that the song choice was really good for her voice. I thought that because she has this kind of like light, floaty, airy, like soprano leaning voice. And I thought that the song lent well to her voice. Now, this was interesting. When I went back and listened to it in my good ears, the song starts with just chords. It's kind of just like a drone, right?
Mhm.
And I believe that the whole start of the song would have been like that, but I think that the band was feeling that she was not staying on beat.
Yeah.
So halfway through that, you could hear the drummer on the cymbals giving her the beat so that she could stay on beat. And I was just like, good job, band, because it's really hard when it's just the of the chords just playing in the background. It's hard to keep your timing. I wonder if that might have thrown her off a little bit in her overall performance, that happening, because she did have some, I like to call precision issues.
Right.
Like she was not precise throughout the entire performance, although I saw a lot of raw talent there that I
Yeah.
think Miss Reba, and not only Miss Reba, the voice has some brilliant
Coach.
vocal coaches behind the scenes that these artists get to work with even more than the coaches that we see. And I think that Rachel is really going to take advantage of that and take advantage of all of the resources that the voice is going to give her. And I can't wait to see what she does in the next round.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Good luck, Rachel. Good luck.
Yes.
Okay, so who is our next contestant?
Next up is Lavender. She is 27 years old from Lowell, Michigan. And y'all, she started out the song and I was like, wait,
Is that what I
wait.
is?
Is that what I think it is? And what it was Hotline Bling by Drake. She flipped it, y'all. She flipped it.
I didn't have a note for Lavender. I just wrote next to Lavender's name. That was insane. Like, and that was the only note I had. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
was in all the good ways.
Yeah.
And then when I went back and put it on my good ears, it was even more insanity. I say it was an insane arrangement, insane performance. I said it really drew us in. I was very mysterious in a good way. And then that insanity happening in that young lady's throat. Okay? I say it was as if Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and Dove Cameron were all in one throat. And these are like the top 3 female singers of like now.
Yes.
Of the youthful, the young,
Yes.
the young generation, right? The
Yes.
early 20s singers that are superstars. I said,
Yes.
Billie, Olivia, and Dove were in her throat at the same time. Don't think I don't know about these singers, y'all. My daughter keeps me young on this music, okay? So I know about Dove Cameron, I know about Olivia Rodrigo, and I know about Billie Eilish. And these are all 3 uber talented singers. And I said it was like they all were resting in her throat. That was so scary to me. This was insanity. Insanity. And everyone needs to watch out for this young woman, because if she keeps doing what she's doing, it's going to be, there's no one's going to survive.
That's right.
It's going
That's
to
right.
just be total domination.
That's right. That's right.
That's all I got to say. Stephanie, what say you?
She did everything that I love, which is taking a song and completely flipping it. completely. And she not only flipped the musical arrangement of it, she flipped the melodic choices of how to deliver the lyrics. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we saw another example of another artist that flipped a song as well. And that unfortunately just didn't translate as well.
Yeah.
This one was brilliant. I said, what in the coffee house, cotton club, speak easy did I just hear? And did I just witness? Because I felt like I was in like the cotton club. Or I felt like I was in the speakeasy. Like it was so floaty and so airy and so seductive and so mysterious. It was so good. And it's just so impressive to me. It's so easy to make impact with a power vocal. It is so much more difficult, I think, to make impact with a low and breathy and ethereal sound. And I was captivated. I was like, what's she gonna do next?
I said the voice never got above a mezzo piano. I tell you, it was crazy. It was
absolutely nuts. And I love her as a person. If you watched the clip of her performance, like she gave everybody, she named herself Lavender because she uses lavender to keep herself calm and calm her anxiety. And she gave each one of the coaches a necklace with lavender in it that was like a color that was meaningful to them, either their favorite color or a color that represents. She was just such a sweet person.
Beautiful light.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But I'm like, that was Hotline Bling. Are you kidding me? I couldn't get it. It's like the same.
Hotline.
What? So creative. So uber creative. Crazy. Loved it. Crazy.
Yeah. And she and sometimes people have a quiet confidence about them that they know they're going to go on that stage and torch it. And I felt like Lavender knew. She's like, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do the darn thing. I almost cussed, y'all. I'm about to do the darn thing and go on stage and torch it.
Yes. It was incredible. She picked Niall.
Huge pickup.
Niall.
Huge. I was telling Stephanie, you all, before we get to our last contestant, I was telling Stephanie, I said, I love the spread this year. And by that, I mean like the spread of talent.
Yes.
Usually we're talking, in our opinion, we're talking like Kelly and John and everyone else, like, and what we prefer. But I think that this season, like the talent is truly being evenly spread with the different genres going to the different coaches. I love.
That's right.
Each of them are going to be like impossible choices.
That's right.
Just speaks to the crazy amount of talent that we're seeing coming down the pike.
Absolutely.
Which leads us to our very last performer of the evening, and that would be...
Oh my goodness. It was Miss Jacquie Roar, 37 years old, from North Plains, Oregon, and she sang Here for the Party by Gretchen Wilson.
Jacquie, sis, I don't know what parties you've been to, but every party going forward, because Stephanie and James like to party. We want to be at that party that you were at or you are part of. Yes. Because you going to party it down.
Absolutely.
But the first thing I said before, I said the joy of singing.
Joy.
I said, tell the story, sis.
Yes.
She put her finger out. She looked to the side. Like, and it's the different nuances you see when somebody's performing, especially when they're singing a more bombastic, demonstrative song. Like it was the subtle.
That's right.
It was all of that. Stephanie and I were here for it all. I said, this woman is a comet headed for the earth about to destroy everything in its
everything.
She is a comet.
Yes.
I said, next gear, next level, tsunami singing.
That's right.
Is how I describe her.
Yes.
And I love a good lady rocker.
Yes.
Shout out to Ali Keck from last season, who was one of our favorite singers who was shamelessly sent home way too early.
Yeah.
I said the sky is the limit for this young lady.
That's right.
I want Stephanie to talk about her because Stephanie's got a lot to say about her, but everyone, and I know I've said this a lot because it's true, but I told Stephanie this last night. I said, I feel sorry for whoever, and I'm talking about even the best of the best this season. I feel sorry for whoever is paired up against this young lady, young mom.
Yes.
Because it's gonna be like, I don't know, like nobody's gonna be standing.
No.
Not even the coaches.
No.
As of what we saw last night. Stephanie?
She was in attack mode right at the jump, like in the best way. Like she was ready. And if you don't know her a little bit about her backstory, she's a performer and she performs a lot of weddings or does a lot of wedding gigs. And you could tell that she plays to an audience because her performance aspect was outstanding. Her vocal, OMG, like the power radiating out of her throat, that rock country vocal that James and I love and don't get enough of on this show. I was just like, yes. She was giving me shades of like Carrie Underwood, like when she does her Sunday night football song. Here Sunday. Yeah, she's giving me some of that. And then also, like when I found out that Gretchen Wilson was the singer of the song, I was like, oh, okay, this is all making sense because she's got that voice.
But then she's Serena Williams does.
Listen, for whatever reason, these coaches were not turning immediately.
It's crazy.
And Jacquie must have said to herself, or it just went into a different gear. She snapped. And for those of you that don't know what snap means, it just means that the whole energy shift and you just kind of almost lose yourself and lose control. It's an out of body experience. And she had an epic snap where there's a part of the song where she just growled and yelled in the most impactful way. It was so much so that almost every coach, I believe every coach kind of backed up and then smacked their button because there was nothing else they could do. They had to. She literally
the audition, Stephanie.
She stole it. Like she willed those chairs to turn like no one I have ever seen in my life.
No.
See, they messed up. Them coaches messed up because Jacquie started off like a tropical depression. And then girlfriend ramped up to a Cat 5 hurricane and was like, okay, listen, y'all not going to turn? I got to turn up then. Like she literally turned into like the Marvel comic character Storm. Like she just destroyed everything in her path. The complete devastation.
Everything got leveled.
I just couldn't believe, like it came from her toes. The growl and the roar that came out of her toes, and it did not let up until that song was over. Like it was insane. Her earring popped off.
Her jewelry was popping off. She was singing so hard. And then she took her other one off and just threw it down. I said, I love this woman.
I love it.
I love it. She sang her jewelry off, y'all. She sang her jewelry. That's Tyler Bell is like one of the only singers that sings their jewelry off.
Right. It was insane. It was insane.
Stephanie would say things, you all, in previous, over the past year that we've been doing the podcast. Stephanie would say things, and she would always make a reference back to So You Think You Can Dance about when an artist sings all the way through to their fingertips and to their toes, all the way through to their appendages. And that's what you saw from her performance and from her voice. She was singing from her toes all the way through her fingertips.
That's right.
Everything was radiating. It was a radiant performance.
Yes.
Radiating. It was like she was creating heat.
Yes.
Crazy. It was one of the strongest auditions I've ever seen on this show.
1000%.
And the thing was, that I loved about it most, and I'm just thinking about this right now, Stephanie, there was a beginning, middle, and end. Like she didn't come out roaring reference to her name.
Right.
She didn't come out, like Stephanie said, tropical depression, and then she was Cat 5 at the end. Total devastation.
And like you said, James, I don't know that we've seen a 4-chair turn that late.
Nope.
They had to turn. She literally willed all 4 of their buttons to press and for their chairs to turn. She willed it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Who did you wind up going with?
She went with Gwen. Woo! Woo!
Mrs. Shelton, y'all.
Yes.
Yo. Watch out. Other team.
That's right. That's right.
Out, y'all. That was crazy.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Pick up where your husband left off, Gwen.
No, that's right.
All right. So what an episode, Stephanie. That was awesome. That was such an incredible night of singing.
Yes.
I'm without words. I am so excited about the season. And we're not even done yet, Steph. We're not even done the blinds. We got another week.
That's what I was about to say. Like this feels like week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
Auditions, and this is only week 3, week 4. So what is to come? Ooh!
And if you follow us, if you've been following us, you know that my personal favorite round are the battles, and we haven't even gotten to the battles yet, and I'm already going crazy. And Stephanie loves the lives. We're not even anywhere near the lives.
This is season 24 is shaping up to be insanity.
Oh,
insanity. Which will also
with like a
we did listen,
a pouty bratty kid.
Listen, that switched up real quick, didn't it?
Didn't it? All right, so we'll see you all next week. I thank you all so much for always tuning in, and contestants, the best of luck. We know all this is pre-recorded and it's all been done. We cannot wait to see what you all are doing. And hey, hit us up on the podcast. Thank you all so much for supporting us. Stephanie, tell them what they need to do.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And also check us out on YouTube. Search for the Pitchy podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Pitchy podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
See everyone next week. Bye.
Bye.